Well, hello, my beautiful Librans. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for March 2024. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I'll never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Librans, this is your monthly reading for March. I can't believe it's here already. It really is coming round so quickly, and it's certainly going to arrive this time with a dreamy, poetic energy where you will feel supercharged with lots of ideas during this super new moon. You'll feel championed by the universe to make progress with your personal dreams and goals, and Neptune in Pisces can help you visualize to manifest great opportunity, prosperity, or even romance. But it can also trick us all into living fully in our imaginations without actually taking any action to make these visions become a reality. So it's worth keeping an eye on things there. March really is a month of being brutally honest with yourself to make those improvements that you've been yearning to make. And from the 25th of March, this dreamy energy will of course end with a bump and leave a lasting impression too. For this month, it throws us straight into eclipse season. Now, eclipse season tends to be a little intense, full of plot twists, and it can also be akin to a tower moment, flinging us out of our comfort zone and onto the right path. So it can be positive. It can actually be a thrilling ride as long as we don't hold on too tightly to something that we know is not good for us. This is the month really, though, to get back on track, and especially if you've strayed away from your resolutions or intentions that you made at the beginning of this year. This eclipse, it will take place in your sign, my beautiful Librans. So if anything doesn't feel right or it puts you out of balance, or even if a situation is toxic, it will be cut out completely. This includes relationships and friendships and of course situations as well. And if you have been the one falling into toxic patterns due to unhealed trauma, you will be super honest with yourself and heal or seek help to evolve away from these limiting patterns. Now, even food or household substances will be under the microscope this month. You might even develop an allergy or an intolerance to something that you've used for quite some time, or even, eaten or drunk for quite some time. Suddenly, there may be some sort of intolerance to it there, and it may lead you to cutting it out altogether. Eclipses, they actually encourage us all to shed anything that doesn't enrich you on your soul's journey. And also, and I don't like this energy, but I have to be honest with what's coming through, eclipses can also heavily affect tectonic shifts, which means March could see some major earthquakes or volcanoes erupting as well there, okay? Now, we do have a couple of planets also becoming hidden during the month of March. That just means they're not readily seen in the sky. And namely, these planets are Venus, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn. And of course, you are governed by Venus, so this may affect you heavily, especially when it comes to moving forward with plans. But we'll get to it in a moment and see what happens for you. But actually, it's a perfect time for you to work behind the scenes on personal projects or personal transformations, which will be very beneficial later on in the year for you as well, okay? Now, on a global scale, there may be some hints or pre-release articles, news sources, shall we say, detailing new technology or up-and-coming social changes. Now, these changes, they've already been signed off, okay? Things that are already going to happen, whether we like them or not. I have to put it that way. but we may actually just get hints of them in the month of March. Basically they will become a reality, but we're actually being given these pre-release articles or hints in order to gauge how we are receptive to these changes. Okay, so it could be like paving the way for us to accept new things that are coming in. Now, Venus being hidden could also see some financial shifts behind the scenes. I do feel there's a lot of financial changes coming. But behind the scenes, things that are not being discussed openly, they are readily available for us to see if we go searching for it, but it's not something that is being shown. So, for example, figureheads of old money or famous people in the know, selling off stocks and shares or property, perhaps preparing for an economic shift to come. But I've mentioned in my yearly reading to watch out for financial shifts from September, October, and November this year due to the planetary similarities to previous economic challenges. Okay. Now, we may also see some whistleblowers during this time trying to highlight these epic shifts that are to come. And politically, we could see some reshuffles. These could occur in the month of March, but also a major political official could even stand down or be asked to leave their position. So this is the month really to expect the unexpected. And that includes odd weather patterns as well there. Okay. So, excuse me. Now, basically on a personal level, though, it's actually a very transformational month to keep things moving with simplicity, to stay on track and keep forging a way towards our abundance whilst protecting what you've already achieved so far. And I do want to apologize for my voice. I've been a little bit unwell. That's why I've been a bit quiet for a couple of days. I came down with this seasonal cold, and just when I thought, it was completely over, my voice is still not back to best. So occasionally I may have to clear my throat. I'll try and silence those moments in this reading so that you're not just hearing it in your ear, okay? Now, just to let you know, your 6th house is influencing you at the beginning of the month, and that's really about your daily routines, your schedules, focusing on work or paying bills or projects, looking at your savings plans, budgets, repayment plans, basically your responsibilities and tasks. In this house, it may feel a little bit dull, like nothing's really happening, but it's actually very important to keep your life running smoothly. So the beginning of the month, 3 of Pentacles there, the Hierophant. It feels like a slower pace. It feels very much like business as usual, just the way that you've been running life at this moment in time. So March, the beginning of it doesn't really feel much different for you. But then as you move into the latter part of March, your 1st house of the self, identity, revamping a look or a wardrobe comes into play. You may be looking at what makes you unique. And they're actually showing me right now a flamingo. Okay. Now that really is a bird that highlights, uniqueness, but it's also about embracing your individuality, celebrating the little things in life and, living in the moment, finding balance, even in difficult circumstances. There's an energy of refinement coming through, artistic expression. And some of you, there's an event or an opportunity to attend something in the month of March. You'll really dress up. There's a flamboyant energy here. I really feel like you're going to express yourself through clothes in the month of March as well. Okay, so I feel maybe you're going to be invited to something, or there is an event that you're already anticipating and you'll dress up for it. It's going to be a wonderful event, and there's going to be so much joy that comes from that there as well. Now, that 6th house, it basically is about you focusing on your health. And, some of you may restart an exercise plan or diet plan or pay attention to your sleeping patterns. But basically, it's about keeping your life moving forward, as I mentioned there. But the 1st house is doing a little bit more soul searching about finding your place in the world. And if you're unhappy with any aspect of your life, this month is the month to really focus on setting changes in motion that will change things for the better. And your 1st card there, this is your protagonist energy. It's Moon Sparkle, and it says, a wonderful surprise is in store for you. Now, this is the equivalent of a Wheel of Fortune energy. So I do see a shift of things in your month. I feel this change happens around about the 3rd week for you. So something that you will celebrate happens in the 3rd week. It says surprises, joy, windfall, and good luck. You know what? I came to this reading. I do a little 10-minute meditation before I do each sign's reading. And just before I even started that meditation, I heard, I wish I could actually play you my mind, what I could hear, but I heard Libra, Las Vegas. You know that Elvis song, Viva Las Vegas? I heard Libra, Las Vegas, but I like heard it like Elvis was singing it, right? I heard the whole song in my mind. And why I'm smiling is because it's just come up again, but actually I'm being given like more lyrics. Okay, so let me just tap into the lyrics of what I'm hearing. How I wish there were. Oh, okay, it's just stopped. How I wish there were. Okay, maybe this is something you're wishing for and then it shows up for you. Oh, okay, it's starting again. I'm being given a different place. Bright light city, gonna set my soul on fire. How I wish there were more than 24 hours in a day. Okay, that's really random. It started and then it stopped. So perhaps you're going to start something and then stop it and then return to it. Perhaps that's the energy that I'm getting through. I mean, this song, I'm still hearing it. I'm still hearing Libra Las Vegas rather than Viva Las Vegas. I mean, for some of you, it could be that you're literally going to travel to Las Vegas, but I feel more it's about, having so much on that you're really busy and that you're shining your light and, there's you seeking joy and entertainment and fun spontaneity. Because when I think about Las Vegas, of course, some people love it, some people hate it. Okay, I was a bit, it's a beautiful place. Don't get me wrong, but I feel it's, it has so many different aspects to it, the light and dark of Vegas. And I just feel like there's a sparkly side, but also there's the undercurrent. So maybe some of you are looking at that in life. And it could be that you are putting a brave face on things. So you've been smiling a lot and just saying, yeah, everything's fine. But deep down, you're dealing with a lot of stuff. Right now, you're really pushed and pulled in many different directions. Vegas is where you could win something. And I'm holding a card that says, windfall. Good luck. So maybe some of you are going to get a win this month. I'm not saying go out there and play the lottery or anything like that, but I feel maybe something you've been trying to accomplish is going to work out for you. Looking at your cards, we got the Magician, manifestation, Ace of Pentacles, something is being offered to you. This literally means a gift or a win or an opportunity for more fortune. So I feel like there is a win in the works for you in March. Okay, but on a more grounded level, I feel it could be something that you worked really hard for. But there could be a small win that comes in, or a rebate. It could be a tax rebate there, or an extra surprise financially is coming through. So do watch out for that. I definitely see that happening there. You may even hear that song because it's coming through. It could be a song that you hear just before a win or just before an accomplishment. It could be like you launching a business or you getting a qualification of study, because we've got the Hierophant here. So this is all about, studying, learning more, classes of learning, or putting yourself in a hobby or some sort of opportunity to meet other people or upskill in some way. So it could be that you're going to get good grades. You're going to pass with flying colors. So it could be like that. I just feel like there is something you will celebrate. There is a win here. Now, when I hold this card, I definitely feel this sense of looking at your beliefs, what really, is governing you, and really examining your motives for things in your life right now. And I feel like you are trying to create that balance and harmony. But the Hierophant is an energy of, advice. Okay, so I feel some of you may be looking at advice regarding something in particular. So if you're thinking about launching a business, for example, you could be looking at videos of how to set up a structure or the legalities of something. And you're putting your own individuality, your own unique spin on it. So you're not copying anybody else, but you've got a wonderful idea, and I feel like you'll run with that. It's going to be very lucrative for you. I definitely see success there and the start of new money. I'm being given the energy of new money coming in. The Hierophant, some of you beautiful Librans out there are actually getting married. People can spontaneously get married in Vegas as well. So perhaps that's some sort of connection there. You may have planned it. It may not be like a spur of the moment thing, but there could be a wedding or it could be that you're going to be invited to a wedding. Doesn't have to be in Las Vegas, but I feel perhaps they're trying to indicate some sort of connection there to a wedding or a marriage or a bond between people. I'm actually going to pull a card on the Hierophant. It says here, connect to your inner wisdom, time to choose a new path or direction. So some of you, especially with that first house, you're looking at where you belong. You're doing some soul searching and you're basically strategizing the next steps of your plan. Okay. Actually, sometimes I think that we do have plans in motion, but also we don't tend to always focus on the details of it. We focus on the bigger picture. And I feel this month, the month of March, is really about focusing on the minute details of like an operation or something that you want to accomplish, the little bits that make up the whole thing. So you're compartmentalizing your time. So I just want to pull a card on that because, the Hierophant, I'm getting strong vibes of people deciding to take a class of study to build new knowledge in order to upskill in some way. It could be if you work in a company, for example, your boss, someone in a position of power in that company could say, hey, I want everybody to go on, a course to learn this new computer program. And then you and a group of people will either leave the office on like a retreat and go and learn whatever it is they want you to learn, get a qualification in it so you can, have it as a skill that helps you run the office day to day, for example. Some of you, if you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you are getting new computer software or hardware, or that you are learning how to use new programs to make your time more efficient. If you're retired, it could be that you are yearning to, take a cultural retreat so that you could go to a certain place in the world where you feel like you're called to or you yearn to be. Whatever it is, there's celebration there. Three of Cups is, a win. This is community. This is enjoying yourself. It's about, the main energy they're trying to highlight is there. It could be like a feast date or celebration, people coming together. It could be a marriage. It could be even an anniversary there. And I feel there's an energy of people coming together, having fun. You've got the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Cups. So this is like an energy of people coming together, having fun, letting your hair down. So very sociable kind of month for you. I definitely get a sense of you wanting to be in like-minded people's company. That's what I'm getting there. Three Cups, I feel this is excitement. You're excited to utilize the skills or the knowledge that you have to create your destiny or be on the right path. I definitely see that you're on the right path. There's some wonderful things happening here for you. I do actually feel that you have a decision to make, a major decision to make in the month of March. Towards the end of the month for you, like the last week, I feel there's some things that you do need to pay attention to, but we'll get to that in a moment. But the beginning of March, it just feels like, you're easing yourself into March. It just feels like nice things are ticking over. There's some things to celebrate there as well. And with the Three of Cups, this is also about like looking at your resources, this could be, what I'm feeling is like karma being a boomerang coming back around. So it's like for your generosity of spirit, you may have done some work for, volunteer work for a charity, or, you may have given some money to a person who you felt needed it in that moment. And it just feels like an accumulation of all the good things that you've done are coming back around. And there's some sort of win here. It's a win. You know what? I'm going to look out on... sometimes you get those lottery forums, and I'm going to see the people who win. I'm going to see if it says that they're Librans, because I feel like you have a high potential of winning something this month. Now, the Three of Pentacles is really about remaining grounded, and it's about building on the foundations that you've already worked on. So I definitely get a sense here that you're focusing on your plans. This is about creative planning for the future. It's also about consulting. So some of you may decide to be a consultant in some area that you have a lot of knowledge in. So, for example, if you are thinking about retiring, but you don't want to completely like hang up your working gloves, as it were, you may decide to come in and out as a consultant from time to time. So you consider yourself really retired, but at the same time, on your own time, you may come in and, give presentations or consulting services to help other people. For some of you, it could be that you are thinking about all the knowledge that you have and putting like a course of learning out onto the internet, so it brings in like a second stream of income, or it ticks over there. For some of you, you're actually paying out for a class in order to get like a certification. I feel this is a big month for knowledge, okay, for you. And I feel, you're going to do really well with that. But I also see this is you being inspired to collaborate on something. So some of you could pick up a hobby during this period, or join like a class of like-minded people in order to come together to discuss, books or news articles or things in the community. Or I just feel like there's people coming together and having open discussions and like bonding. I'm getting this energy of bonding. If you're in a working environment, like you work for a company, I would say just be a little bit mindful about gossip, okay? Because I feel there is a potential here for a group of people to gossip about someone who is in a position of power, okay? And I feel that either there is someone who is a bit of a sneak, someone who go back and tell them what was said, or they can hear. Walls have ears. I just get this sense that just be mindful of what you say. So if, for example, you're going to the water cooler and you can hear all these people talking about someone who is in a position of power in the work environment, and it's negative, whatever they're saying, just avoid the water cooler. Don't get caught in the group, even though you're not saying anything. Just by association or just by standing there, it could be misunderstood that you're part of that. So just watch out for that. That is coming through there. If you're an entrepreneur, okay, I would say the same thing. If you're networking or you're at an event and someone says, oh, I've worked with this person before, what do you think of them? And you're like, oh my gosh, this person's awful. Just say something diplomatic. Be honest, because I feel it's very important to be super honest, but just be mindful in the way that you deliver it, because I feel whoever you're talking to is actually closer to the person than you think, and it'll go back. So just watch out for that, okay? That's coming through there. Now, Three of Pentacles, you're being careful with your finances. I feel like you're making your resources go a long way, and I feel like you're weighing up your options in terms of how to increase your finances there. So it could be that you're looking at different monetary establishments. There could be like incentives from different financial institutions to like move your money to their account, and then they give you a financial reward for it or something like that. So some of you may be looking into that. That's coming up there. I definitely would say look at any hidden terms or any sort of hidden like increases in interest rates, because I feel they may be in the small print. If there's like a certain amount of time that you can have this account for that's got really super high interest rates, and then suddenly like after like 8 months or 6 months, they take it away, and then, I just would watch out for that. So if you're signing anything, make sure you read the small print there. Now, some of you may also be looking at service providers this month, things that you don't particularly need any more subscriptions. You may be cutting those things out, or you may be looking at service providers that are not providing the service up to scratch, and you may decide to actually disconnect with those people in order to reconnect to somebody else or connect to somebody else, because I feel there's a reconnect here. So it could be that, for example, I'm just going to give you an example. Say, for example, you're with AT&T, right? And you're like, okay, you used to be with, I don't know, I'm just going to throw something out there. You used to be with Verizon, and you go back to Verizon because they've got a better deal, or the service was better long-term than the one that you got right now. I just feel like there's a change here happening. So just watch out for that. Now, some of you, I'm getting this sense of like behind the scenes learning something in order to put some plans in motion or strategizing. I feel like there's a plan. I feel like you are looking at some sort of project. It doesn't have to be a career project. It feels very much like a personal plan that you have, whether it's your 5-year plan that, you're going to stay in the place that you're in right now for 2 or 3 years, and then you're going to move on, or whether you want to take this stepping stone into a new job or promotion, or, I just feel like your plan plans are in motion and you are on the right track. There's a little bit of a plot twist towards the end of the month there, so you may need to make a decision, but I feel like you're protected and redirected towards the right path if you feel like there's a bit of a course correction going on, because I feel at the end of the month there's a potential for course correction, okay? Doesn't mean you don't reach your goal. It just means there may be an alternative approach that is easier for you to get to where you want to go. Now, we do have Sky God here. The time is now to put things into action, but it's in the resistance position. So it's like it's in the reverse for you. So some of you may be wanting to do something particular, but either you feel like the time is not right, or you may feel like you don't have the money to do that right now, because the Ace of Pentacles is also in the reverse position. I'm being given that resources will find you, that you'll find the money, or you will find the moment in order to either launch or purchase or whatever it is you're trying to do. The moment will become available to you. And I feel this is more at the end of March for you, okay? Yeah, it's like if you're thinking about launching something, I would just be a little bit mindful of not doing it in and around the 25th because of that eclipse, okay? That tends to overshadow launches of businesses. And yeah, I would just say, of course, do your due diligence. You will feel gut instinct wise when it is right, but I would just say try and avoid that date in particular, okay? It just means you may work a little bit harder, you know, and you may have to revisit things, revisit contracts, or go back over things, and it would just be a little bit frustrating is what I see there. It wouldn't be as streamlined as if you avoided that date, okay? Now, I do feel, it says here, masculine assertiveness boundaries, and we do have that Temperance card here as well, okay? So some of you, now, I'm just getting a small percentage of you, so I just want to highlight that this is not for all of you. Some of you may have been deciding to go for marriage counseling or counseling in, some sort of personal area of your life. It could be like personal growth counseling, seeking a mentor, or, perhaps you're going to work out some stuff and get closure on some things. This will be very beneficial. It really will help you, and it will help you move forward. I feel like you gain greater knowledge and wisdom about yourself, about the situation and the people involved. And I really feel that it helps you bring clarity to a situation and you release it. It just feels like a lighter load at the end of March. So if you have been struggling with something personally or something that's been on your mind, okay, because this period, this month in particular, it kind of dredges up things from the past. Even if we've healed them, there is an element of nostalgia that really is about processing difficult experiences and, just trying to understand why you went through those experiences in order to learn. So they could come up just to give you a little bit of nudge or trigger you in some way, but I feel it's there to highlight how strong you are and how far you've come, and that this experience or this issue no longer has power over your future happiness. So I feel there's some sort of closure or release there. It's like you can look at it now without it really truly wounding you. Okay, there's something about that, and I feel some of you, that may be down to counseling, or some of you may be thinking about going through a counseling session in order to help you through something. It will be very beneficial is what I see, okay? Now, moving away from that with respect there, I'm getting an energy here of you putting those plans in motion at the end of March, whatever those plans are, whether you have been currently taking courses of learning and you're getting a certification or qualification, suddenly you'll have that knowledge to put it into your work, to upskill, to get better money or better role status. Or for some of you, it could be that you're gathering lots of knowledge because you're thinking about moving or doing something that changes your environment in some way. And I feel like you are on track to do that. It will become your reality, okay? Thoughts become things. But we do have that Temperance card, and it's in the resistance position, which can indicate some of you have been feeling a little bit stuck, or there's been some disruptive energy about you recently. It just feels like you haven't had enough time to do all the things that you want to do. You're always in a rush, or it just feels like just when you feel you get like a handle on things, suddenly something comes left field to really like put a spoke in the wheel there, and you're like, oh, okay, just when I got on top of things, now this is piled up on top of me. I just feel like you've had a lot of things on your plate recently. Things will work itself out. I'm being given, I'm actually seeing someone ironing. So I feel like, the month of March is really about ironing out the creases in life, things going a little bit more smoothly for you. It could also mean that you're literally listening to this reading as you're ironing, and that is like a hotbed energy that comes through for me to let you know that things are getting infinitely better for you, and things will not be so chaotic, okay? Also, I feel some of you may be waiting for something. It feels very much out of your control. Like if you're waiting for a tax rebate, or if you're waiting for an opportunity to get a promotion or a raise, I feel like to some degree, some area of your life has been a little bit out of your control, but I feel you establish more sense of control at the end of the month. And I feel it just feels like the ball is in your court. I really don't know what I'm talking about here specifically, but I'm just getting this energy of the ball will be in your court. Okay. Now, I'm also getting, it says here, accept divine guidance, strength and power in balance and moderation. So I feel like you are really examining your priorities at this time, and you are, looking at your sense of purpose, establishing that you have a lot on, but you're also prioritizing to make sure that you focus on the things that are really important. I feel like you're going to be super organized this month. I do feel like, the beginning of the month is a little bit like easing on in, but then from the middle of the month, I think things really pick up pace for you. You are going to be super busy, and I feel things start moving in the right direction as well. And also with that Temperance card, I feel like, you're just keeping an eye on being in the flow of life, paying close attention to your bills, making sure you're on top of things, all the responsibilities, because I do feel like you've had a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. I keep being drawn back to this energy of teaching something that you know already. So some of you are actually thinking about either going into the teaching field, or you are utilizing your skill set, whatever it is that you have acquired knowledge in your life. You may be either writing a book on it, or a blog, or putting up videos online for other people to learn, or some of you may actually be like setting up a course of learning in order to bring in more money, because I get this sense of wanting to increase the foundational money that you have already. So that's happening there too. Ace of Pentacles, of course, is in the reverse position at first. So some of you may have felt that you in previous months has spent a little bit more than you hoped for, or you may feel that perhaps, you're just a little bit stressed about finances right now. Doesn't mean like you're going into major debt. Okay, I feel the month of March, you're actually getting on top of things. So it just feels like an easier month. So if you are worried about finances, I feel the universe is sending you a resource or an opportunity to increase your finances in some way. And these may be through ideas that you have already, like decluttering your home space, doing some DIY. You may actually put stuff that you have outgrown online and actually sell them at a higher rate, or you get a little bit extra money there. Also, I get a sense that some of you are going to be offered like a new role. So if you've just been made redundant, or you're out of work, or if you're currently putting your resume out there to find new opportunities, I feel one is coming in, and it just feels like better money. It feels like success. It feels like an opportunity that is gifted to you, and it's the start of everything for your financial future. I really feel there's a step up here for you. So if you're worried about finances, or you're currently looking to see if there's alternative work going on in the market that would suit your skill set, I definitely see one coming up for you, and you're going to grab it with both hands there as well. But the Ace of Pentacles, it actually means gift. I feel that someone is going to gift you something. It could even be the universe gifting you a small win in some area, but I feel that someone is going to send you something. It could be flowers, it could be a letter, it could be like a painting or something that they do, something that's handmade there, because they show me a hand right now. So it could be handmade. It could also be that something with a logo of a hand on it. It could be something to do with palmistry, or I'm not really sure. I'm just being shown a hand right now. It could be someone giving you a helping hand of advice. But I really get a sense that this person is letting you know how much they appreciate you, or recognize that you are an important presence in their world. And it really touches your heart. So that's coming in there as well. Now, what else am I seeing here? being given energy here of, if you are in a company, you work for a company, or even if you work as an entrepreneur in your own business, people in positions of hierarchy in your industry are noticing what you do. You stand out from the crowd. And I feel like you're being recognized for some sort of opportunity to either collaborate or to step into a new role that will be really maverick, really unique. And they need your unique set of skills in order to fill that role. So I definitely see, if you're in a career, it's going to be quite an exciting month for you. If you're retired, I feel this is like some sort of event that you may be asked to attend, or that you may be asked to host, or something like that. I feel like your presence is necessary. It could also mean, if you're looking for love, there's someone who's involved in that and they have feelings for you and they feel your presence is necessary at this event. But I'm just picking up on that there. And also, I'm not really sure if I should say this, but if you're in a high-level commitment relationship, I feel there's this energy of, if you haven't got married to this person or got engaged to this person may pop the question. They've been keeping it a secret for some time, and I feel it's like your friends and family may be in on it, is what I'm seeing there. And I feel they may try to take you away on an event there, but I feel it's almost like afterwards, like all your family and friends are there as well, or your nearest and dearest. So it feels like this person's really planned things through and they want to make a fuss. So there is a potential of that happening there. Of course, I've said it now, so I probably shouldn't have, but, act surprised. I feel that's coming through. So if it's something you've been hoping for, I definitely see it's going to happen there for you. We've also got Autumn Moon. And it says, your planted seeds are ready to harvest. Plenty, abundance, ripe, and release. So, yeah, something that you've been investing in is actually going to be very fruitful for you. This could be your projects, your ideas. I definitely see that there is more of the good stuff to come, even though you may have been a bit worried. I mean, some of you may be worried because of the world events that we're seeing right now. You may feel the world is in chaos, which of course it is. And sometimes we can be distracted by that, okay? We can be engulfed in fear, and it kind of stops us in our tracks on our own personal development path or on our own projects. So I want you to be aware that, of course, some of you may attend events where you can do something to try and help in some way, but I also feel it's really important to not allow these situations to keep you stuck in your own world, because remember, we're all vibrational energy, and if we are overwhelmed by this sense of fear all the time, it lowers the vibration of the world at large, and we can already see that there's some crazy things happening there because, of course, we've just been through a major cycle of fear since 2020 and beyond. But I mean, there's always been this level of craziness in the world, but it did ramp up that level of crazy in the last couple of years. And some of you are trying to really fathom your place in the world and try and understand what's going on, and also try and understand where things are headed. And it can maybe feel a little bit overwhelming. So I feel some of you are trying to be logical about things and try to silence that inner fear regarding things that are going on in the world at large. And I feel that, sometimes thoughts become things. And if we have a majority energy of people thinking, we're going to have this happen, then it is like a prophecy. It can actually influence the vibrations. I know it's very much more complicated than I'm making it, okay? This is very sort of simple kind of way of describing it, but I feel it's important that we try to be clear that there are certain things that we can do in the world from our own personal individual viewpoint, and there are things that we cannot. And sometimes we have to acknowledge that if we cannot change a course or change a path, or we cannot change a circumstance, then putting any of that fear or worry into that is actually, wasting your energy that could be channeled elsewhere. Of course, always be prepared, but don't allow fear to engulf. I don't know why that's coming through, but I feel for some of you it is, and I just have to address it, okay? But I definitely see this is your outcome energy, which means things on a personal level are headed in the right direction. Whatever you invest in, it's going to invest in you, is what I just heard. So whether you're investing in yourself, there is a turnaround there as well. Personal development and growth will be very rewarding for you, getting closure on some difficult situations, but also anything that you invest in terms of your time, your energy, your finances. I definitely see that there are returns there for you and rewards. Now we've also got the Magician. So this is about a level of control is what I'm feeling here. Your focus. I feel like you're going to be highly creative this month. You're turning those visions into reality. You're taking action. You're making life happen for you. And it says, remember what you're capable of. Answers and solutions are within you already. The Magician card indicates you have everything you need to become who or whatever you want to be, okay? It's about tapping into that vibration. Of course, all of us were not given certain privileges when we came to this lifetime. We've had to fight for those privileges, work really hard for those privileges, and I feel, you are looking at your resources right now and seeing where you can take yourself to the next level. And I feel you're actually going to be super focused. I mean, you're a very talented and gifted person, and I see all of that action showing how capable you are to, accomplish whatever it is you set out to do. Because I feel like there is confidence here for you and a freedom in being able to shift your focus. Because I feel you're going to have to be a little bit flexible at the end of the month because there's a major decision that calls for your attention. But I feel like you've got this, okay? The Magician card tends to mean that, you have everything you need. You're highly intelligent. You're able to make things happen on your own terms. So I definitely get a sense here that, you're basically utilizing all the ingredients that you have at your disposal right now in order to make life infinitely better for you. And you're on the right path, okay? Also, it's a high potential month for manifestation. Remember, thoughts become things. Believe to receive, and what you can see in your mind, you can have in your hand. So I definitely see giving some time for you to meditate will be very beneficial for you. Okay. Now, at the end of the month, this is what I really feel we need to look at. Okay. Because we've got the Nine of Wands here, which indicates some of you are trying to manage stress levels. And we've got a Six of Swords and also a Seven of Swords, which can also mean that, there is a potential for someone to try and steal your ideas, or potential for someone to, swipe your wallet when you're not looking, or your cell phone. So the Six of Swords tells me that you're protected. So use your intuition. I feel this is an opportunist. Okay, I will pull a card on it. So I feel high potential at the end of the month for someone to have an opportunist moment to perhaps dip your purse when you're not looking, or I don't see anything major there, but I feel it's just a moment where you're like, I was getting on the bus and someone just, pickpocketed me or something like that. So just watch your surroundings, especially at the end of the month. I'm going to pull a card on that. I don't like to give that message, but I can see it, so I have to mention it, okay? And it's not going to resonate with everyone, and I'm not here to tell you so that you are paranoid at all. I'm here to just indicate, be a little bit mindful, especially if you're traveling, because I see it when you're in motion. Eight of Pentacles, something you worked really hard for. Magician card. Can you show me the Seven of Swords there? Okay. Okay. So, whatever it is, it can be replaced, okay, is what I see here. But I feel some of you have a lot on your mind, okay? So I would just say here that be a little bit more mindful of your surroundings, because I feel with the Three of Swords, there's a potential for you to be really disappointed that this happened, but the Page of Cups, it kind of indicates that things will be returned. So for example, if someone took your credit card and, purchased something on that, I feel like, there will be compensation there. It just feels like it gets worked out. But I feel whatever it is, it'll be replaced. So, it's just the inconvenience of it. So just watch out for that. That's coming through there as well. Okay. Now this could also indicate that someone perhaps listens to your ideas and decides to run with them themselves. Okay, so just watch out for that. So I would be very careful about who you tell your ideas to, especially in the working environment, because I feel these people, they don't have the capacity to come up with these unique individual ideas and be like a maverick like you. And, you know, they won't do it as well as you, but they still may try to take the core idea and kind of change it a little bit. So, you know, it doesn't look 100% like yours, but at the same time, you realize actually tried to take credit for something that, you know, that you did. So I feel be very mindful of that. Okay, now let's get to each individual card. Six of Swords, some of you are actually, you know, working really hard to tie up loose ends so that you can go on a vacation or a quick trip. I feel like you will be working really hard there. But the Six of Swords actually means, you know, you gain a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of lessons to learn this month. And I feel that, you know, you are moving out of difficult times. Six of Swords literally means to be taken out of difficult times. You're being guided, you're being protected. But also I feel this could be relocating. So some of you may be thinking about a move, okay, or you've been planning a move for quite some time, and it's been really an eye-opening learning process. And I feel, you know, you're trying to manage stress levels there, but I feel it will be ultimately a really peaceful move. You'll love where you're going to. Also, some of you with that Six of Swords, I feel you've been in a bit of a transition period where you've been going through very difficult times, or things have been on top of you and you've kind of expected more of the same, but actually things are going to work out a lot better than you expected. And I feel something that you truly desire, you are being brought to that at this time. So there will be some very good news. I do feel at the end of the month, you're going to be very cerebral, very much in your mind, because you are going to be very thoughtful about a decision you have to make. Okay, and this could be that you're leaving a place behind, or leaving a situation that you've outgrown, or a relationship that you've evolved from, friendship perhaps. I feel whatever it is that you are personally deciding to step away from, I mean, it could even be a food substance, whatever it is, you're making the right decision. So I feel like you're not looking back. Okay, that's what I'm getting there. Now we have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is caution. Okay, reevaluate circumstances. It comes with the Hierophant, the Page of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords there. So I've already discussed, you know, just be a little bit mindful if you're traveling regarding your possessions, because I feel there's an opportunist there. Nine of Wands is an energy of guarding as well. So I would definitely say make sure that you are, you know, keeping your vitamins up, because there is a potential there to do what I didn't do, which is, you know, make sure that you are in full optimum health. I actually got like a seasonal cold that it just went away a little bit, then came back even stronger. So just watch out for that. I feel there's a potential there for you to pick up a seasonal cold. But I also feel with that Nine of Wands that you are currently reevaluating circumstances in your life, and you're just allowing certain insights to arise within you to guide you before you're making your next step. Questioning is really good, because, you know, it actually gives you options rather than go into something like blindly. I feel like, you know, you're on this path for a reason, and you're doing what is right for you at this point. So if someone has tried to micromanage you, or tried to influence you, or sway you in a certain direction, I feel like you're doing your own thing. No matter what that is, you're sticking to your beliefs, and I feel like, you know, you're not actually allowing anyone to sway you from your path or derail you there as well. I mean, you got the Hierophant again, which means your knowledge will come to the fore when making a decision. And I feel any advice that you receive at this time, I would really like take it, but also question it. Don't take it at face value. I feel you have the knowledge within you, okay? I feel you know instinctively what to do there. And also, if you are struggling financially with any bills, I would definitely reach out to the person that you owe the bill to, or, you know, the company, because I feel like there is some sort of payment plan that they could advise you on Don't ignore it, because it will just get worse, okay? So if you are struggling to pay something back at this time, or you've come to a point where you lost your job or were made redundant, for example, and you still have bills to pay, I would definitely call the service provider. Say, for example, it's your cell phone company, or, you know, maybe it's your landlord. I would just tell them the situation, make them aware of the situation and what you're doing about it, and then you can come to some sort of agreement where they like put the payments on pause, or they ask for like minimum payments or something like that, so you can come to an agreement where you're not like stuck, okay? So I would just say that do not ignore the problem, because the problem will then increase, okay? So that's obviously not going to resonate with everyone, but that's coming through there as well. You're going from an Ace of Pentacles to a Page of Pentacles, which means new financial news. So either money that you were hoping to achieve, whether that's an increase, a promotion, raise, that's coming in. Some of you may even see like an increase in your pension, okay? It may surprise you, but it's a nice surprise there. Also, if you're waiting on a new job opportunity, there's definitely one coming in. But I feel this is a raise in money, okay? Money news that will be very welcome. A lot of you, this is about your commitment to your prosperity as well. So it could be that you are focusing on budgets, making sure that you have more money in your pocket than elsewhere. So you are finding good deals for things that you want in your life. You get the same product, but for a lesser price. So I feel like you're being very financially savvy there. But this is also about, you know, everything starting with a plan. You're putting your plans in motion, and they're going to be very, very fruitful. You're going to see results generated from this plan. And I feel, you know, there is prosperity here for you. You are a doer. So I feel like, yes, you're going to be very busy, but also I feel like you're going to see first signs of tangible success in your world in the month of March. And I feel, you know, you're going to attract what you need. You have the ability to attract what you need, and therefore you are actually going to attract what you need, okay? Now, for some of you, this could be the beginning of you know, a business, launching an entrepreneurship, or perhaps launching an idea, or stepping into a new project or a new department with a company that you work for already. And for some of you, it could be that you're learning about money. You know, you're learning how to compound interest, or generational wealth, or you're learning structures. So I feel like you are putting your knowledge into practice, and you're going to see infinite results there as well. So you're going to be really proud of yourself at the end of the month. Now, Seven of Swords, I've already mentioned. Look out for anyone, you know, potentially swiping something from you. I mean, there could also be a potential, you know, betrayal of trust. I did say here, if you're engaging in any like gossip or anything, I feel there is someone there who could betray your trust and tell the person that is involved. So just watch out for that. But also the Seven of Swords, the history of the Seven of Swords actually is to be very independent, to not conform to other people's expectations of you. This is about you being independent, individual, living life on your own terms without people pleasing. I definitely see that you are not a people pleaser. And I see here that some of you are yearning for independence in your life. You're looking for a break away from groupthink, especially since you have the Three of Pentacles there, which is to be in a group. And this is to be like going solo, or having ideas that think outside the box, that are different from other people. You know, I feel some of you are working on a different mental level than others. You know, you see things that other people don't see. And I feel that's good for you, but other people may not be able to understand you on certain levels. And again, that's okay as well, because we each came into this lifetime with certain paths that we decided to take. So I feel some of you are becoming super independent. You're going off on your own, doing your own thing, whether that's business related or travel related, or even like relocating somewhere where, you know, normally if the family kind of or friends kind of live in a certain area together, some of you may be looking further afield. I mean, you'll still keep in contact with the people that you really care about, but at the same time, I feel like there's this breath of fresh air of you wanting to do something differently. Also, Seven of Swords is to be diplomatic. You know, in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the figure runs away in stealth mode with, you know, 5 swords, and leaves 2 swords behind. And the history is that that figure is trying to take the weaponry from the army because he does not want to fight. He wants to find an alternative diplomatic solution to a very delicate situation. And it looks like he's actually removing the weaponry, but actually he's not stealing it. He's removing the threat of a situation that could become very volatile. So I feel some of you may be a mediator in a situation in March where you have to calm a situation down, or perhaps you have to remind yourself to be calm in a situation because you have that Nine of Wands there, which is you trying to manage stress levels. But also because the Seven of Swords, it can be, if you go too quickly in some direction, you could miss something and have to return to it. And I've already mentioned that, so I feel that's been resolved in the reading so far. We do have the Two of Swords. Okay, so the Two of Swords, overall, I'm being given an energy of like, it's kind of business as usual for you for March. There's a few plot twists at the end of March for you, and I feel there's a lot to celebrate, but also I feel there's a lot to look out for. Two of Swords is basically taking a break in order to consider your options. So if you're taking a quick time away, whether it's a retreat or whether it's like a weekend away with friends or family, or even if it's on your own, or you're just taking a day off to just chill and say, you know what, today's my day to just do some thinking, I feel the answers will become apparent for you, okay? The perfect answer for your highest good is going to come to you, but you must remain in a peaceful state of mind to hear it. The heart whispers, and we have to listen. So I feel we've built such a loud environment these days, bombarded by information, noise, and all of the things. And sometimes it's really hard to really tap into your heart and into that knowingness. And you're a very intuitive, instinctive person, so it comes a little bit more naturally to you, my beautiful Librans. But I feel a big decision at the end of the month requires your silence so that you can really work out what is best for you, and you're going to be taking the right path. I see you choosing the right option, okay? Just don't feel rushed into anything. If anyone tries to pressure you, take a step back and say, no, I have healthier boundaries in this. You don't get to pressurize me into making a decision, but I feel you will make the right decision, and you're reestablishing your power. You're back in control of something, okay? Now, your reading was really like a little bit off the wall, okay? It was a little bit different than usual, so I hope there's something in there for somebody, okay? And these are your final cards. We have Power, Volcano. Now, I did mention earlier about Volcano. This is the second time it has come up for a sign. So, generally, of course, when we have eclipses, there could be major volcanic action there. So hopefully it's nothing too big or dangerous, but the earth, it moves all the time, but this is a highly volatile time. So let's see what happens there. But in terms of you, my beautiful Librans there, it's number 9, which is Hermit energy. It means you've been going through a major period of personal growth. You're being really honest with yourself. You're fed up with some of the things that have been happening in your life, and you've just taken some time out, or you need to take some time out to recharge your batteries, but to reassess. Okay, again, I feel the goal is the same, but I feel like the approach will be a little bit different. And it feels like you're like having a rebirth. Suddenly, like, your lust for life is coming back, this passion, this desire, but also I feel like you're reshaping your personal landscape. If you think about the volcano, this is about, you shifting or changing something, not living a life that is contained. You're being your wonderful, vibrant, flamboyant self, and that's just going to shift the landscape. The volcano, all the lava comes out and it creates new lands. And I definitely see that some of you are trying to do that in your life, trying to change things up for the better there. This card, it literally also means, getting rid of old grudges, releasing them, letting them go. Any heavy energy that's been hurting you, if you hold on to it for too long, it's just going to build up, and it's just going to create a very volatile reaction with you. So this is really about allowing that anger to flow through you rather than saving it all up for, a potentially volatile release there, okay? Now, anger, it's not a negative emotion. People are like, oh, you need to go to anger management. Of course, we need to acknowledge where we can go too far. But anger must be expressed, because if it is pushed down, then it is going to come back and bite us on the you-know-what later on when it's most inconvenient. Anger is a natural emotion to show you that something is frustrating you, that something is not working, that there needs to be a change. And if you're experiencing that level of anxiety or anger or outbursts, then it's just highlighting that there is something that you need to address right now. Okay, it's an indication. It's like a little red flag in our body that says, hey, we're struggling over here, so let's see how we can go about it to change things. I know when the smallest thing gets to me, we're all human. We have moments of feeling complete zen and complete calm, and then I might freak out over something that is like so small. And it's because actually something else is really worrying me and I haven't addressed it. So I feel some of you may be dealing with that, but things will become easier, and I feel like there is nothing to worry about long term there as well, okay? Now, also, I'm just getting an energy of reformation here in your world. I feel major shifts and changes are upon you, but it gives you a really great power to see things from a new angle. And I feel, volcanoes have the power to create or destroy. And I feel like you're channeling that energy to create rather than to destroy. Okay. So I actually feel it's a very positive energy for you. Now, also, we've got number 40 there. And that's atoms. Something that you're building is coming together. This is about vibing at a certain frequency. I mean, this card, it literally means everything is connected by the same building blocks of matter. You're electric and you're vibrating and in motion. And, being stagnant in your beliefs or in your life is actually unnatural. We are forward motion creatures. And I feel, you're making some changes that help you move forward. And I feel variety is the spice of life. And I definitely see that you're on a journey of discovery. I mean, I'm really seeing Six of Swords energy here, where you're moving on to pastures new that are better for you, more peaceful, more peace of mind, but also that you are being protected and redirected. So if you've experienced any disappointment or sadness recently, firstly, I'm sending you a huge hug out there. But secondly, I see that your guides are bringing you towards something that is infinitely better for you. Sometimes we have to be in a natural state of pause in our life to really reflect and really hear our heart, but also to give the universe the opportunity to guide us on the next steps. Yes, you have a plan, and yes, you're going to reach the goals that are on that plan, but sometimes we need to just take a pause, and pauses can feel like frustrating, like we want to move forward, or they may feel that, nothing's happening right now. But there is purpose in pause. Not only does it teach us about patience, but also it allows all the variables that are important as ingredients in whatever it is that we want to come together. So for example, if you want a certain job, right, that job has to become available. It has to be right. It has to have the right pay, the right status. It has to match your skill set. It has to be with the right people, the right company. All those ingredients have to go in before you can be offered that role. That's a lot that's going on in the universe for each person individually. And when divine timing happens, then the right opportunity will show up. Okay. So I don't know who needs to hear that. It's coming through. Okay. So we have the Anka, which is to be, of course, truthful with yourself. Some of you having faith, believing and receiving. Okay, I definitely get a sense here. Something you've been praying for or asking for is going to be delivered to you. We've also got a witch on a broom, okay? Now, this can be an indication of embracing your spiritual gifts, that actually, it's very hard sometimes to make space for spirituality or make space for, magical things or seeing the magic of the everyday, because we're so bombarded. We're going from A to Z. It's tough. So I feel like you're creating space for spiritual moments of just taking a bath rather than a shower, or sitting there reading a book in candlelight or with a little torch, making sure that you don't strain your eyes, or, maybe it's about taking a walk in nature or developing your spiritual gifts, connecting to your higher wisdom. Or even like looking at natural substances that can help you. Whenever I think of a classical kind of witch scenario, I think of them with their cauldrons, with their lotions and potions, and they're taking like organic things from nature, herbs and, spices, and creating like a little concoction that can help you with your health. Or, so I feel, some of you may be looking at that at this time as well. And of course we have Hagal. And it's really interesting because Hagal has shown up for you, and it's in the reverse. Okay, now when it's in the reverse, it means there have been disruptive forces in your life at present, but there is a payoff, there is a reward that is coming for you, okay? Things have been a little bit difficult, but now I feel this is your time to reap the rewards of all that difficult energy that has been going around for you. And I feel as you move into April, things get infinitely smoother. And so I would say thing to watch out for is the very end of March for you. I feel there's a few bumps in the road there for you, but I feel like you breeze through it. You're protected and redirected, and it's all going to be well. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you. It was very complex. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Librans, and love and light.